Is Boise worth making the move, whether you're coming from Oregon, Washington, California, or one of the most amazing places in the world? Why Boise? Today we're going to be covering exactly that. Let's dive into the content. So today we're going to be covering one of the most asked questions, which is why are people moving to Boise and is it worth it, right? For those of you that may be watching this video, you're probably already contemplating or already making the decision as far as if you're going to move here, but you need to know more. Now, although me personally, when I came here on military orders, I had zero option as far as why I moved here and what we were going to move for, and if it was worth it, you, on the other hand, may have the opportunity to make that decision on if it's right for you and your family or your current situation. Now, ultimately, it's going to come down to a few things that make that decision for you and if it's right for your current situation or what you're looking for in your next home. However, overall, for the most part, as far as my personal experience has gone, it has been absolutely one of the best places to live, if not the best place to live, and I've lived in a lot of different areas. First off, where the hell is Boise? So Boise is located in southwest Idaho. Boise is in the perfect spot in my personal opinion, and the reason why is because I feel like it's such a great area to live and travel out of. So for those of you that maybe like to travel, Boise does have an international airport. It is located close to Oregon. It's also close to California and also really close to Nevada as well. So for all of you guys that are like, hey, can I travel or am I gonna be stuck? Overall, its location and the things that it's surrounded with are enough just to be able to get out and explore outside of the city and see not just what Boise offers, but as well as the surrounding areas. Now, when most people think about Boise, the first thing that they think about is typically Boise State University, which yes, Boise State is an absolute madhouse. People absolutely love it here. They wear their jerseys, they wear their gear. I'm telling you, everywhere you go, no matter where it is, whether it's Boise, some of the surrounding cities, even hours away in rural areas, or even in the woods, you will probably find someone with Boise State University things on because people just absolutely love Boise State and they will rep it to the day they die. Now, not only do they have an amazing college that you get to go watch football, basketball, and all those things, you also have an amazing, vibrant downtown. Downtown is just honestly second to none. It's not a big downtown, right? When we're talking about downtown Boise, we're not talking about something like Los Angeles or Hollywood or talking about Denver, Colorado's downtown. We're talking about just a small town with a little less going on, but there's so much to do, if that makes sense. So you have all these different bars, you have all these different restaurants and all these different galleries and things of that nature that you can go enjoy overall, which just adds to what downtown has to offer. And some of the best food spots you can find in Boise are actually downtown. Me personally, I'm a huge sushi guy, so I absolutely love going to Yoitomo. It's a local sushi area where they do multiple types of cuisines and things of that nature. However, overall, their main focus is sushi, and that's what I go for, and that's all I care to go for. Now, all these little things that I'm talking about aren't necessarily why people are moving to Boise, but there is a huge factor within all those things that we're discussing, and it's the quality of life. The quality of life in Boise is literally second to none. Like, there's so much to do. The people are friendly, and I genuinely believe it has to do with why people are so friendly here. I genuinely believe it's why the crime rate is so low in Boise. I also genuinely believe it's why so many people tend to take care of the state and just take care of the city in general. There's so many things that are going on all year round. People absolutely love to get out. They love to socialize. You always have all these different vendors at these hundreds of events that's going on, if not thousands a year. And it just makes people really get out and get to know each other and just have a good time. And that's what I think really drives that level of community and why people absolutely love living here, making the quality of life truly second to none. Now, not only are you able to go out and have a good time, but if you have children or if you have family coming out to visit, you always have thousands of things you can go do. You have multiple areas you can go visit. There's just so much that it has to offer, and when you're able to go out and have a good time and explore and do the things, it just continues to add on and pile up as far as why you're not going to be able to leave Boise once you get here. Now, the next thing we're going to be discussing is the economic opportunities. For those of you that may be relocating due to jobs or are maybe just looking to get into a job with a better opportunity for you, the good thing is the Boise market and the surrounding areas overall, they're just continuously growing. I'm talking about we have some of the biggest name companies moving to Boise, or if they're not already in Boise, they're continuing to expand. For example, Micron, which is a huge technology company here in Boise, they're expanding with another 15,000 employees in growth with this next expansion they're doing. You have the Meta warehouse, which is growing out in Nampa, which is about 20 minutes away from Boise. You have the military Air Force Base getting bigger out in Mountain Home, which is also expanding. They're just bringing so much to Boise and the surrounding areas. And not to mention, you also have Albertsons, which Boise is the hub for Albertsons, and you also have Gym Reapers and all these different companies that are located in Boise or the surrounding areas. And as far as the economy goes, with the constant growth and as many people relocating this way, we're just seeing more and more opportunity for anyone and everyone in multiple career fields. However, the top 3 career fields that you're going to see in Boise is going to be in the medical field. You'll also see that in the technology field, so just as we discussed Micron, and as well as the number 3 one, which is going to be manufacturing goods. So however, those are the main 3 as far as lines of duty here in the Boise, Idaho area. Now, just to touch base a little deeper on the medical side of things, we have 2 really big hospitals out here. One is going to be St. Luke's, which has multiple locations spread out through the area. You also have St. Alphonsus, which is huge with heart valve replacements and things within that career line. So if those are some of the things that you're into on the hospital side of things, those aren't limited, as I mentioned, but you definitely do have a lot more opportunity for those people in those career fields. Now, the next subject is immensely important, especially if you're someone that has to spend money for a living, which we all do. So with that, the cost of living in Boise is significantly less expensive than a lot of different areas. And I'm talking about those metro areas, maybe living in Atlanta, maybe you're living in San Diego, maybe you're living in Seattle, Washington, maybe you're living in Oregon, all these different areas where cost of living is absolutely obnoxious. When you compare Boise against those areas, it's just significantly cheaper. Not to mention the housing market, which before we dive into that, I am a licensed real estate agent here in the city of Boise and the surrounding areas. And as much as I love making these videos for you guys, I would absolutely love to help you guys with your home buying needs. So make sure you guys reach out to me. As you can see, my phone number and my personal email, no matter what time, no matter the day, reach out to me. I would love to help you guys. Now, going back into it, the real estate market in Boise is also significantly more cheaper. Now, it is one of the more expensive ones, however, not the most expensive in the state, simply due to the fact that not only is it the capital, it's also the most populated, it's also the most desirable area to live. So naturally, you're gonna have a lot more demand to live in Boise. However, it doesn't have to be where you live. A lot of people, for example, myself, actually live in the surrounding areas or in the surrounding cities and actually prefer that because they have a little less traffic and a lot more to do where they could just travel the 10-15 minutes to Boise and still enjoy everything that it has to offer. Now, as far as the Boise market goes, the current median price for all of real estate is $575,000. And before we dive into any deeper into that, what I would like to do is give you guys the opportunity to check out some of the real estate in Boise, Idaho. So without further ado, let's check out some houses in Boise. All right, guys, so some very beautiful properties. Now, I will say, as far as the Boise market goes, we're starting to see more and more listings come on market, which means for those of you that are buyers, it is slowing down a little bit on our end, and the market is cooling off, which is great news. However, we also know that interest rates are starting to be cut multiple times by the feds, which may potentially lead to more interest, which means that the market may potentially heat up, depending on your time frame, which is why I recommend you guys reach out so we can hop on a quick 30-minute Zoom just to make sure that we elaborate what you need need to be doing and coming up with a solid game plan for you guys to execute. Now, with the market cooling down, that just means there's more opportunity, there's not as much rush, and you can honestly take your time and pick the area that you really want to live. And one of the best things I always recommend for my clients is if you can take 2 days, maybe just a weekend, to fly out to Boise and check out some of the areas. Then from there, you can really dial in as far as what part of town you would like to live in, whether you like that city life where you live in a condo and can overlook the entire city, or maybe you want to live in the foothills, which is a little out, but you can overlook the entire area as well. There's just definitely different areas, and whatever makes the most sense for your situation and what you're looking for in a home, that's what I would recommend we look. That would be what I recommend we lock in on. That would be what I recommend we lock in on and start pursuing. So bringing it back to the affordability of Boise, not only is housing significantly cheaper, you also have groceries, which are cheaper here. You have gas, which is cheaper here. We're not California high where we see $5, $6 a gallon of gas. You go to Costco, you could probably get a tank of gas for $3 on the lower end, and there's definitely other opportunities as well. Now, you also have significantly lower taxes here as well. So sometimes people move here from some of those higher taxing states and they feel like they're stealing. They just feel like their dollar is going much further. Maybe they feel like $1 here compared to Washington feels like $1.25. So if you're making, $100,000, you really feel like you're making $125,000. Or if you're making $1 million a year, you kind of get the point here. But that is the benefit of the affordable cost of living in Boise overall. Now, I know we're kind of getting into this later in the video. It is one of the top reasons on the chart why people move here, which is the outdoor access. And I'm talking about whether it's winter, summer, fall, spring, you just have so many different activities you can participate in. As you can see right now, it's starting to get a little windy. Hopefully you can't hear it in the mic. I kind of have to lean this way sometimes because of the wind, but you may even see the camera swaying back and forth. But the point I'm trying to make is you have a little bit of everything all year long. So you definitely do get to experience a beautiful fall, which right now we're sitting in the perfect 70s. You're turning on the heat in the morning, then you're turning on the AC in the midday to the end of the day, and then you're turning the heat back on. So it's kind of that weird fall weather where you kind of love it, but you hate it at the same time because there's no real consistency yet. But I will say it does allow for a lot more opportunity to go do things. For example, in the winter, you can go snowboard or ski, or you can go tire sled, whatever it is you like to do in the winter time. And then on the other end, when it's summer and it's starting to get warmer, you can go hike, you can go ride your bike around town, you can go float the Boise River. You can just do so much throughout the year. And with the different temperatures that we get here in Boise, I will say sometimes it does get pretty severe, but overall, you will be pretty satisfied with the 4 seasons as long as you prepare mentally and physically for it. So what are the downsides to living in Boise? Well, truthfully, the downside to Boise is that as more and more people relocate and figure out that Boise is really one of the top places to live, we're going to start seeing a lot more demand and a lot less supply as people relocate here. Overall, they're doing a really good job as far as navigating people moving towards Boise and just making sure that we have adequate, streets and highways and interstates and things of that nature. Now, we're also experiencing more traffic. However, I will say as far as traffic goes, we're still significantly lower than the national average, which is a great problem not to have, because the last thing a lot of us need is a bunch of people having road rage, honking, flipping people off. You know how it goes. But we just don't experience that here. So not a big problem yet, but it could be something that pops up in the future that some people are concerned about. Now, another concern may be as more and more people relocate here, is there going to be enough housing, or is there going to be enough just general things for people to be able to do or accommodate them as the population grows, which with us being over 200,000 people in population, it sustained itself pretty well. And a lot of people that live in the city that didn't want to live in the city are now moving to areas like Star or Middleton or Caldwell, just areas that are a little further out the way to where they can visit Boise, and then during the week they just live wherever they live and avoid the trip to Boise. So it just really depends on what you're looking for. But overall, is the move to Boise worth it? The answer is absolutely. And if it doesn't sound like it, or if you need more elaboration on things, put it in the comments, give me a shout. Once again, I am a real estate agent here in the Boise and surrounding areas, and I would love to help you guys with your home buying process. So once again, you will see my phone number, you will see my email, you'll see everything you need to reach out to me. Please, please, please don't hesitate. I always tell you guys to do that. And sometimes someone will tell me, they say, I almost didn't call you because of XYZ. I thought you may be busy. But guys, generally, I can always take a call or a text message. So reach out, let me help you guys. And if you haven't already, make sure you guys press the subscribe button at the bottom of the screen. Leave a comment where you're tuning in from, or if you have any questions. And also press the notification bell at the top of the screen to get notified when we make more amazing videos just like this. As always, love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. See you on the next one.